everyone, welcome to another video. Hopefully the audio is okay. I'm currently trying to work out some technology that I've got as I am an old man now. I am 19 years old, so I'm a part of the older group of people. But yeah, this is really a tester recording to see on how the sound is and to see how, you know, sensitive my new microphone is and to see how loud it is because, granted, it is extremely loud, I believe. Um, if you hear my voice twice, it's probably because I have mic monitoring on the microphone because I can't get what I can't get access to the software to turn it off yet. So yeah, this video was really just for me, just to chill and have a nice little talk for a bit. I haven't uploaded in a while. Again, like I said, I was back and then I disappeared. And this is going to be more of a serious conversation. This is more just to also maybe start a new series to have just chill out conversations. And hopefully that will uh, develop into um, being able to become a series. But yeah, I have realized that I I don't really I'm quite stuck. I feel like in this world I haven't really, well, in this world, in these few years that I've been stuck with just things that have happened to me and things that I've done to other people. I mean, I think I think it is something of just, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I'm very much lost. I work, I do a lot of stuff outside of this for myself, and it's just a lot when you kind of sit down and just think about it. I can't help but think that I don't I don't maybe I can't seem to get the right wording for it, but I just feel maybe lost is the right terminology for it, and that might sound weird and just out of place, but it is. I really don't know what I'm doing anymore. I don't. I'm in university, I'm studying, and the course I'm studying is very logic based and easy, but it's also something that I don't really know if I want to do, which is okay. You don't have to do things that you want to do. A lot of people take big changes, and this year, just moving on from A levels, as you can tell, I'm from the UK, so A levels to university, it's a big jump, and I don't know. I've kind of realized the situation that I've put myself in, and it's not a bad situation. It's just more I can't seem to stop thinking about the past, about things that I've maybe said that I regretted, or maybe even just good experiences. and missing the environment that was my past through education or things that I've done whenever I was younger. Like recently, a thought of me doing kickboxing has recently came back into my mind. And, I haven't thought about kickboxing since I was 12, which, well, of course, I think maybe there was times in secondary school where I was kind of forced to think about kickboxing, but kickboxing doesn't really come to my head a lot. And I've kind of realized as I've, gotten older that I it takes a lot of comprehension of where you are currently to maybe not get through, but to realize what you're up to, and to also realize on what you want to do. Because though I might not be enjoying, well, I enjoy it to a degree. Though I would like to I would prefer to study something else, but I'm not willing to go and do the studying yet for it. And it feels like maybe I am. I'm not wasting my time. I'm playing safe for what I want to do as a career, because what I actually want to do is not a guaranteed career, and it can feel miserably, which is why I'm doing what I want to do as a career outside of everything. But I'm not sure if it's getting to the point where maybe I'm doing too much, or if I'm letting it take over my happiness, because I've realized the worse things get, as in whenever I'm doing things and I'm just not feeling good about it, usually means the worse my mental health is, or maybe is just, I don't know. As a 19-year-old with my current life experiences, I'm not going to have the answer to everything, and a lot of these situations that are just life-based, it's all specific to people, as in everyone will have their own experience, everyone will have their own understanding, might be the better word for it, but have their own way of getting through it, which is good. But I don't know. I have been in but yeah, I think it's just cause I've went from being really busy to nothing again, because it's Christmas, everything that I'm doing is off. But I know as soon as I get everything sorted, everything up and running, that will hopefully be even busier. But who knows? You know what I mean? And it's just having the time to sit back and reflect, I feel like, is what's making me feel like I'm stuck. And I think genuinely people don't do it enough, because I've kind of realized I never reflected back on my time and places and how things went as much as I thought I did, until it reaches Christmas or times where I'm off and I've got nothing to do, and you're at the peak of just feeling lonely. Maybe not lonely, but you know what I mean. And at the same time, at this point, it's okay, the game just lagged. As you can tell, this is a live commentary, but you you just get this feeling of being lost and stuck because you don't really know what you're doing. But I think I need to also understand that that's the beauty of kind of living life, as no one really knows what they're doing. Everyone makes a decision, and every decision leads to the path that they're on. You know what I mean? But I can't help but think, what if I'm making the wrong decision? What if I'm doing the wrong thing? What if I'm considering the wrong aspect of what I want and what I really genuinely want to do? And I think I need to figure it out. As in, I think I need to figure out where my brain is at and understand the next step better. Because, and this is a big thing, I don't remember anything of this year. Like, I remember nothing. I remember I got my driving license. I've got my A levels. I am now in uni. This year has been a big change. However, I also know that I don't remember most of the year. And I don't know if anyone else is going through this type of feeling, or this lost feeling, or stuck feeling. I don't really know what to call this feeling. Maybe it's a mixture of both, but yeah, it's just weird, you know. I know it's great where I'm sitting here getting deep, tackling things, then you just end it with just, it's just weird. But yeah, that's the best way I could really put it. It's very, very, very weird. And I guess there's other things that I have been just thinking about, which is again attached to this feeling of being lost, and you don't really know where to go or what to do. And it's like, and as well as it is okay, it's also okay to not like how it's going, where I'm unable to really remember what I've done this year. However, I've accomplished a lot this year. But at the same time, it feels like I've done nothing, that I'm stuck trying to do something that, you know, might not pan out, might not succeed. And yeah. Now, this isn't to be an excuse for why I don't post. The reason why I don't post is because I don't. It's because I don't want to. Which this feels like a random thing to chuck in, but whenever we start these conversations, it's just I don't really want to, and I don't really have anything to record. I could record PvP Minecraft, or I could play Warframe, or I could play Battlefield 6, but not record them. Like just what I've really been doing. enjoying games to my own speed, to my own liking. I think I've just lost there. Oh no, he ran about the same currently. And I've thrown it. Oh well, GG's. Damn it. But yeah, I think if I did go back to whenever I was younger, I think I would tell myself to enjoy the moments longer than I really did. Because it feels like that I've blinked and made it to the end of another year. And it isn't inherently a bad thing that I feel like this, because there's plenty of people who would feel like their life has just flown by, but I don't know. I think it's just, I just feel stuck, which then makes me think back to what I've done and remember memories that I haven't even thought about since they happened. And I think there's a lot of underlying issues that, you know what, that I might try and tackle during some of these. But I think it's a good start to start talking about this first feeling of just being lost. Even if there's no solution, and basically the way that I found that I cope, because granted, I still feel like this. I am not coping. Like, not to sound dramatic, because I'm perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm chill. But at the same time, I still have this feeling, meaning that I haven't really coped. I'm just living life, just letting the feeling kind of remain, which at the same time can be a solution. But yeah, I think the first thing that happened whenever I was doing it was whenever I went onto my camera roll onto my phone, and I decided I'm going to start deleting some of this stuff because I save so many unnecessary things that I don't send to people, that I don't use on my phone. Like, I save it because it's funny and I enjoy it, but I'll never go into my phone to go and look for it again. It's saved, but as soon as it's saved, it's forgotten about. And that's whenever I found something that was very reminiscent. And it wasn't back in A levels. This was back in my last year of GCSEs. So yeah, my last year in GCSEs, and it was around about summertime when I was near the end of my GCSE exams, and I was relaxed. Well, not really relaxed because you had exams, but every single time before I went to go to an exam, I would go and visit my granda, who was in a home. If you don't know what a home is, it's basically people who are sick and basically are dying, go to basically live out the rest of their lives, or not live out the rest of their lives, but to live with an easier time because they need extra attention and care that only professionals can give, and care homes are seen as professional things that, him living with my granny, he won't get. And during that time, he lost all of his teeth because Actually, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to say what he had. I'm not going to say anything about that. I'm just going to say that he lost all of his teeth through his illness. And he ended up, and it made to where he couldn't play instruments as well as he was able to. As my granddad was able to play the tin whistle, the flute, the saxophone, the piano, the drums. He began with the drums. And yeah, he just couldn't do it. But for some reason, someone got brought in to play the keyboard with him, and he picked up one of the instruments that he could play, that he had mastered, and just played a song. And and it was during that summertime, and I remember it being sent to me, and I sat back whenever I found it on my phone again, and I just listened to it over and over for hours. I mean hours, just thinking back to that moment and just thinking, you know, really, there's a mixture of things of how difficult that time was for my family, but how also simpler the time was. That around about that time, that was some of my only issues. And then, of course, the memories start floating in, the good memories and the bad memories, and just every form of memory that you have, of course. And then till, well, to then his death. And it's just, a thing that you don't really think about until like years later, where you are just lost. Well, not lost, but you just reminisce and you just really think, what am I doing? What am I doing? Just like this video. There's no point to this video, but it's still being recorded. And depending if the audio is being duplicated or not, it will either be uploaded or not. With me testing out this mic to see if it's working on videos, because if it's not working, then, well, it's also not going to be uploaded until I can figure out on how to make it work. Yeah. Yeah, it's just, you just kind of have some of this pent up feelings that I think I've got some pent up emotions and feelings that I currently haven't let myself feel yet. And you know, I think a good thing for me to say is, if you do have any of these feelings, it's a completely normal thing to feel like this. Sure, I'm 19. I'm not going to have all the answers in the world, but just know any form of feeling that you do feel is valid and deserves to be looked at and seen through before, before you just. I just lost my train of thought there. You could tell I'm recording at 4 in the morning. But it's good to look through them emotions, and it's good to understand why you are having them emotions. And whatever you're going through, if you are going through anything, you might just be enjoying life, which is fair enough, man. Completely normal. just keep going. Let yourself feel what you need to feel to let your brain be able to move on. Even if you can never fully move on like me, if it lets you move on, then that's really what the best outcome is. And if it helps you in whatever way it can possibly help you, then let it. Anyway, this video has been going on for 25 minutes. And to be honest, I think it's quite clear I do not have a point. This is me ranting and rambling about. I feel lost. But I feel better after making this video. So if this video doesn't end up being uploaded, I'm glad that I recorded it anyway. And if it is uploaded, well, hello. If you make it to the end, say, give me your opinions on my microphone. If it's okay, if it's good, if maybe I need to turn down the sound, which is what I think, because currently I can hear myself speak and it's doing my head in. I cannot tell you how bad it is. But yeah, I will be ending it here. So if you somehow made it through the full video, thank you so much for watching, and I'll maybe upload another video, maybe tackling one of these topics. Who knows? I'm not going to make any promises because I'm bad at sticking with them, clearly. Anyway, bye-bye.